I keep trying to say good morning. It's not. I'm Megan Townsend. I'm with Altitude Arborists, and I'm representing the Colorado Tree Care Sector Partnership. Say that 5 times fast. I'm part of the leadership team for the sector partnership, and I'll also have Kelly, Mike, and Adrian just give us a wave as well. They're also part of the leadership team. The Tree Care Sector Partnership has been around since 2017. It was formed to really, the purpose is to help solve workforce issues in our industry. You know, some of the goals and focus areas of the sector partnership are to establish value and improve the economic model of apprenticeship. So apprenticeship was kind of started from the sector partnership. And so that's a large focus of the partnership. And another big focus is a pathway into the industry. So education of people who are interested in the industry and engagement with the future workforce. So luckily the apprenticeship helps accomplish both of those things, and we're able to touch on both of those focus areas today. Really exciting, earlier this year, the first apprenticeship class graduated right here at Front Range. So the apprenticeship program has been going for 3 years and getting ready to start its 4th. So it's really exciting to see the vision of the people who, you know, really came together initially to start the sector partnership, and the apprenticeship is coming to fruition and grow. So today we're here to learn a little bit more about apprenticeship and the industry. Thank you, everyone. It's great having everyone here. One thing I didn't mention is that the sector partnership does meet monthly to discuss workforce issues. Also, those companies that are part of the sector partnership do also have access to a list of people who are interested in apprenticeship. So it's also a great way to help expand your workforce. So absolutely take a look at joining us each month. We do have a little video to share for you, but it's not right there. It's is it this? Oh, outside, it's this tiny little thing right there. We'll see if the sound comes through. Low system resources. Well, okay. Well, we can watch cool things that they do. I would say that if I knew anything about climbing other than watching it, I'd say like all the hitches and stuff they're using, but I'm gonna have to have somebody else narrate that part. So, well, I know it's fun to watch no sound, but maybe we should move on since it's not making any noise. Yep, it is something that we can send to participants. It is a good video. I have watched it myself. Okay, so hi, Kat. Kat, say hello and who you are and what you do. Just a brief little, we just did a little introduction. So if you just want to just say who you are and like 15 seconds of what you do. Awesome, thank you, Kat. And we'll hear more from Kat a little bit later. Madeline, come tell us a little bit about the Pre-Apprenticeship Program.
Okay. This isn't, just ignore that. Okay. Okay, that's what I thought. Awesome. Hi, everyone. Like I said, my name is Madeline. I'm the Workforce Development Manager with the Park People. So I'll talk a little bit more in a second here about our Tree Forest program, which is our new pre-apprenticeship program in urban forestry. Basically for people who are curious about urban forestry or tree care as a career pathway, but aren't really ready to like dive right into employment right away. It's a great opportunity to kind of explore what opportunities are available in the sector. And I'm happy to take any questions at the end in a few minutes here or later in like the panel, or if you want to chat privately, totally happy to do that as well. Tree Force really hits on all the characteristics of a quality pre-apprenticeship program. We try to open doors to careers in the trees for people who, like we said, like might not have a whole lot of experience with that. One of our main goals is to really connect people who are looking for meaningful career pathways to, mortgage paying, family supporting jobs, and really making an impact for the planet as well as for local communities. We also aim to connect our participants to employers and anyone who's hiring in the field upon program completion. So as we all know, the tree care sector is very, it's very hands-on, very physically, mentally demanding, which is why we have an integrated fitness program as part of our pre-apprenticeship. We also emphasize personal growth and team building through a few of our different programming. We do a Myers-Briggs personality test. We also do kind of a group ropes course to kind of work on team building and other things. And then lastly, we, do kind of an end of program celebration, and we have kind of weekly work readiness and job readiness training as well that's offered. So throughout the first cohort, our participants have had a lot of experience with learning how to work with clients. It's been really great to kind of see their leadership skills shine through and really working on that professional communication. So working with clients is a super important skill that they develop. And we also had some media exposure. We were on 9 News and we're in the local newspaper as well. So those are all opportunities that Tree Force can bring. Throughout the course of the program, we've had 10 total field training days. And over those days, our participants worked in Denver's low canopy neighborhoods. They stewarded 51 trees, so they did pruning and health assessments on 51 trees, as well as are projected to plant 49 trees by the end of this week. And those are all in low canopy neighborhoods, and we're hoping that those trees will grow to provide shade and other benefits for the local community throughout their lifetime. Overall, it's estimated that that will provide $51,000 in lifetime benefits for those communities. So really proud of everyone for that, and great to see just kind of the local impact that we can have as well. So throughout the course of the program, our participants have had over 200 hours of training, and they receive industry recognized certifications, including first aid CPR training, OSHA 10, and the Tree Care Industry Association's Introduction to Arboriculture Safety certification as well. And we worked with a lot of different programmatic partners in this first cohort. This is just a few that I listed here. Some of the partners are in the room here today. Our participants have opportunities to network with a number of leaders and employers across the sector throughout the course of the program, and also throughout the greater Denver metro area. And this also includes informal and mock interviews. Last week we did that with the city of Westminster, so super exciting. And these are just a few of the skills and learning that participants acquired over the course of the program. We worked on safety, so call and response in the drop zone and ANSI's Z133 safety standards. We worked through tree identification, biology, pruning techniques and tools, health assessments, and common tree health problems in Denver, climbing techniques, including a full day ropes and knots course with Chris Miller, planting techniques, nursery operations, some specialized skills like rigging, bucket truck, chipper, and irrigation operations and methods. Like I talked about, the fitness and professional communication aspects. We also really learned how to work as a team. Our group was pretty tight knit by the end. A lot of communication and leadership skills and conflict resolution was required to, get the job done every day. And then finally, they learned a lot about the ISA certification and did some training about that. And finally, just the general roles and responsibilities of what it takes to be a member of a tree crew. So if anyone in the audience here is is interested in getting involved in the program, either as a participant or as a partner, super interested in talking to anyone about that. There's my contact information if you want to write it down or come find me later to talk through that. I think I have a couple minutes if anyone has any clarifying questions right now, or there's a panel later where we can ask questions, I think. So, yeah. Cool.
Right, so thank goodness for the pre-apprenticeship, right? Because that's how you get started. And then, so do you want me to? There we go. And just open up. So the sector partnership actually came to Front Range Community College. I'd say about 5, 6. Adrian was part of that group 7 years ago to say, 5 years ago, to say we need an apprenticeship program started because we need workers in the tree care industry. And so Front Range worked with the sector partnership to put together this apprenticeship program. We have a website that you can go to, frontrange.edu/arborist, and you can find out everything you need to know about the program on the website. That we're having an information session, and we developed it with the idea that we need trained folks in tree care throughout the state and throughout the nation. This apprenticeship is registered through the U.S. Department of Labor. So this is a nationally registered apprenticeship program. Folks who go through this program then can come out with a certification that they can take throughout the U.S. and will be recognized throughout the U.S. You have to be sponsored by an employer. So there are lots of students that are coming to us saying we're interested. As a matter of fact, we have an interest button at the bottom of our website. We have over 100 folks who have come in through that interest button and said we are interested in becoming tree care workers. So our goal through the sector partnership is to match up tree care workers with employers. To start into the apprenticeship program, you have to be employed. The employer has to hire the worker. They have to be working for them. And then we offer 2 years of related learning at Front Range. And we can do this non-credit, and we could do it between November and March in full day sessions to work around people who own companies and don't want to be without their folks for 3 hours at a time throughout the week, right? So this program is, again, 2 years and then 2,000 hours of on-the-job training per year. So that can go up 2 to 3 years. I'll just open up the schedule, and this is on the website. We are opening up registration today. And this is the schedule. I know all the folks who are taking the classes are really interested in looking at what this looks like. But as you can see, these courses are 1 or 2 day courses. And we start with, we're teaming up with Tree Care Industry Association, do some of the training online, which is helpful because then workers can do it on their own time. and then they come to Front Range to do the field work, lab work. So the first year starts out with groundwork, safety, equipment, and rigging. So that's kind of your first year. The second year, and this year, just so folks know, let's see if we can get to this second year. The second year will actually be both second and third years. We'll be taking the second year because we've combined that now. And so here's these classes, and they take place Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. The other ones, first year, are Mondays and Tuesdays. So we're trying to keep them separate for employers. The second year includes climbing, aerial lift, plant health care, and tree and shrub. Okay. The registration deadline is October 20. And this year only, because we have a grant, we're able to let folks come into that first year for $50 registration fee. Normally, the tuition is $2,500. So pretty incredible grant to help out and get this off the ground and going. The second year is $2,500 is the tuition. And that's what it'll be going forward. First and second year, $2,500. Any questions about the arborist apprenticeship? Again, you can go to our website, find out more about it. And let's see if I can get back here for you. Yeah. No, so we'll have a orientation session October 24th. It'll be a Zoom session just in the morning, just an hour-long Zoom session for orientation. And then the first year classes start the 26th, I believe. Ryan's teaching the plant healthcare. Oh, that's the second year. Second year start the 26th. First year start November 7th. All right, Kat, you are up. I'm going to turn it over to Kat Plaza. She's going to tell you about some.
Did not know it. So basically, so I have some different materials. Awesome. So I just have a couple of slides here. So this is some information both for, like I said, obviously employers and if you're interested in being an apprentice. So we're going to talk about. So I'm going to briefly talk about how to register your program if you are a company or if you work for someone and they're not here today and you're interested in your employer becoming part of our registered apprenticeship program. As Lynn mentioned, they are registered with the U.S. Department of Labor, and you do get that portable credential that you can use throughout your career. It looks very similar to a college diploma, high school diploma. Pretty proud of it. And then we'll talk about scholarships and eligibility. And I briefly introduced myself earlier, but I am a statewide registered apprenticeship consultant. So what that means is that I help employers walk through the process of all the paperwork in order to become that apprenticeship program. Between the work that Lynn, the sector partnership, and everyone has done within the arborist world, it's relatively simple compared to some of the other programs that I work with. So, and for your programs in particular, basically you would start by connecting with me. You can do it other ways, but I have everything in templates for you. So you can just decide what works for you and what doesn't work for you, as some of the employers here have done. And then you're able to kind of choose your own adventure or use it exactly as it is. And what that is we have an apprenticeship development form. And then we have some work processes that have been adapted from the TCIA national guidelines. The TCIA national guidelines, in order to use them, you have to be doing the hybrid program. So we've just adapted them, which means that as an employer, you can customize it to whatever your needs are, which is what some of the work that Lynn and the sector partnership have done for us here. And then, as I mentioned, I work with you to submit through the CDLE and through the U.S. Department of Labor. So if you're an employer, on the right-hand side is everything that's for employers only, and the left-hand side is the same sheet that the apprentices got. There's a little QR code here. If you scan it, if you want to meet with me, especially if registration is starting today for apprentices, and you have an apprentice that you want to get registered, get them signed up with Lynn. Lynn and I will make sure that we get all the employers taken care of. But this is like a 3 to 5 question, just who you are, and I will contact you. And you will be my priority if you want to register a program or talk about what those next steps are. So that's just a quick form to let me know that you're interested, and that goes straight to my email. Not a slide on here, I just gave you that. Any preliminary questions from the employer side before I switch into the scholarship? Kind of wearing a couple hats here. And then on the employer side, just there's some other some Colorado Department of Labor materials on potentially introduction pieces of the registered apprenticeship and benefits, if you're interested in those. So now if you're an apprentice or you're interested in becoming an apprentice, I work with the workforce systems. Who is familiar with the workforce? Who wants to tell me something about how is the workforce center help you? You don't have to go into specifics. I just wanted to see how someone who used the workforce center would refer to us. Because we do. I love the way that Bill says mortgage paying jobs. We're always here to help individuals be economically stable. And one of the ways that we're able to do that is through apprenticeship scholarships, and workforce centers also have a lot of other resources. As Isaiah mentioned, they can help you with interviewing if you aren't already connected to an employer, if you want to do some career assessment to make sure this is right for you, if the Tree People isn't doing some of their pre-apprenticeship stuff. And so with registered apprenticeships, and this could open the door to a lot more things, such as what Isaiah was also talking about. But we do have scholarships from $640 to $3,200. So what this could look like is if you get in now, it could help you pay for next year. It could also help you with some supportive services. If you're an employer and your staff needs some PPE or something individual, that would be helpful that we help support them with. If getting gas cards, if they're coming from the mountains and they have to get down to Front Range Community College for those classes. Those are just 2 random examples, but everything is always based completely on that individual apprentice's needs, and that's what the workforce would be able to assess. One important thing regarding this year, because of the way that funding works, and it can always be super individualized, but you will want to make sure that you connect with a workforce center before you actually start your apprenticeship. It's going to open a much larger door for scholarships. It's going to open potentially that $3,200 door versus that $640 door. And this is something that employers, I'm also saying this now so that you talk to me when it's that time so I can help you walk through that. Did you have a question? Sorry, I thought I saw a hand raised over there. Sorry. Yep. Mm-hmm. We've worked out some of those kinks. Using this specific example, that opens up more doors than the 200. We would be able to serve the 3,200 as long as they're not enough. So that's the latest. As long as that when we go to do the paperwork and workforce, and we call it enrolling them into grants, if they're not in the bracket system, meaning they're not in that you haven't given the paperwork to put them in the registered apprenticeship, they can have signed with you, but not in the system. That's the hard delineation. And that's where, like Sue was going to say, so thank you for that, because what this means for employers is when you're getting ready to do that, just talk to me before you do it. we don't want you to change your policies and procedures. It has to be something, but it should be a lot easier if I do for that soft offer as well. But that did open up to more than $500. But thank you, Adrian. Any other employers or apprentice questions? So the sheet in front of you should have all the workforce centers for the Denver metro area. And if you have a specific rural area you're looking at, please connect with me. So that is a great question, and they're if they can go wherever they feel comfortable. If they go where they decide, there may be more options. So if you've been COVID, if you're as an apprentice, you've been COVID impacted at all, which in some places was defined as by mask or sanitizer, that might open up the windows more. So, but you can go wherever. You're like, I just want to do this because this is how my employer says it's the year, and I want to go to the place that's closest to my employer because government and work from home hours. That's the big. I'm a realist if you haven't noticed that. How does this impact? So that would be for the extra, so for the so the 3,200, the registered apprenticeship scholarship, and the basic requirements are being connected to a registered apprenticeship, and that's basically everything else can fall. It's asking you to prove age and identity, and like there's only a couple of factors. What she's referring to is our most likely our WIA program, programs like that opens a larger window. That's the program that Adrian was utilizing last year. Adrian's apprentices were utilizing last year. So it just opens up more windows, and they're going to ask you those questions, and just be honest. And you can just say, I just want the apprenticeship money. I don't want the least amount of paperwork possible. And once again, you can work through me or through your company. You can work through me, and I can help that. I will probably be helping that workforce center on the backside anyway. And then we usually work with Front Range to also work on the backside to make sure as much as we can. These are great questions. I don't know where I am on time because I don't pay attention to around here. I don't want to take away from the people. Okay. Any other conversation? This has been great.
And we are gonna, after our panel, we're gonna put little name tags out. Pat's gonna be at the table. So you can go to her table and ask her some questions. Her contact information is also on our website. So you go to our website. If it sounds complicated and scary, really not. Like, I got so scared last year when I was like, I just don't have time. I'm an employer, I don't have time. And I did it this year. So now that registration is open today, and they want to claim, maybe they're in year one, they want to claim the spots at Front Range, can they register?
So that is a great question. I was going to ask Lynn offsite. What I would anticipate, what I heard Lynn say is as long as you're connected with an employer. And then Lynn and I will work to make sure that that employer knows both you're doing this, but you're not on the registered apprenticeship. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, again, that first year is $50 registration. So well worth your $50 to get in and get registered. But again, apprentices have to be employed with.
Do they just have to be employed? Or I think the question is, do they have to already be working with me on a registration, or can they just be employed?
Well, they have to be employed with someone who is either a registered has a registered apprenticeship or is going to have a registered.
So, what if we were just like employed by the company that does agriculture and but they don't have the apprenticeship program, but they will be willing to fund the program. Like they will be willing to give it
Would they take one of their response and not give them the?
No, they have to be an apprenticeship, registered apprenticeship. Yeah. So, and it's not hard. You should talk with them.
I mean, I'm happy to talk to your employer if that's what you'd like to.
Yes.
Maybe 2,500.
No, we went to the leadership team and asked because we had an individual go through that didn't have, and we really need that experience level. So they really need to be. Yeah, they're not registered.
Their company doesn't offer they're willing to pay that.
Well, again, our instructor said it was pretty tough to train somebody who isn't at that same level. It depends on how, if they had a lot of experience. I don't know, it's something that the leadership team decided, Adrian, so we may have to go back to the leadership team and talk to them. Because what we heard was they needed to be at the register. So,
One more question, like, what about when somebody like we have to borrow that we would be paid intensively?
yeah,
I'm pretty sure we know more about trees, the training that we would be doing regular employees.
I think that the tree care sector, again, they have decided previously that they would be training as a part of this related learning apprenticeship. Yeah, we have to.
So it seems like the solution is to just get the employee program rate and then
No, it's made it as simple as it. I can take the credit now and make it look like a cakewalk, but my predecessors and all the work that they've been doing for the last 5 years.
It took me less than.
Usually it's, I mean, my opinion is, that's the less than days.
Yeah, I mean, the initial paperwork, like, it took me less than
Yes, ma'am.
I do just want to mention for your question on the credit side, like if the student wanted to just enroll in any of the credit classes that we do have here at Front Range, not affiliated with the apprenticeship, then the employer could be payer of the tuition bill. And the student would just go through our general enrollment process and do that, but it wouldn't be an apprenticeship.
Right, through the credit card. Yeah.
And then it will be there.
Class to about,
There are programs at Front Range that are attached to the apprenticeship that do train.
I just wanted to know about it. So, if my employer could pay for my certifications, I would be probably covered. My goal is to be a certified officer. So, if my employer can pay for all these things, and I'm pretty sure I can get grants on my own, what would be the benefit of me doing the apprenticeship?
That's a great question. I think time's up. Let's start. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll answer that.
Yeah.
We have
Answers. Okay, well, we are since we've already been through introductions, I'm not gonna go through introductions yet, except that we have two employers here. Two of them have been through the apprenticeship program, and some are still continuing. And I have an instructor here. So I'm gonna start with the employers. And Kelly, how many apprentices have you had? And again, you're with Savory, which is kind of a large company.
So pretty good company in Colorado. We get, I don't know, you know, 13 to 14, 15 or 3 years probably.
How does it make a difference?
So I think for us, and to answer your question a little bit is you get to interact with a bunch of people who are going through the same process as you, even though you might feel like you're ahead of them a little bit. For us, we have a lot of internal training systems. I have 60 people in the Denver metropolitan area who do just there. But the reality is I want other people to work with my trainees, right? So with Alex gets to interact with people from other companies, not just our own company. And I think that that's a huge benefit, right? Because if all you do is work within your own company, you only get that kind of knowledge base. And so getting to work with other trainees and do that in the process over a number of years, it's a great benefit. And I'll let them, yep, that's right. Because just because, you know, we know a lot about chipper safety, but the reality is hearing it from different companies, it gives you a different perspective. And that's why we've stayed in this program. I think you can hear from the guys that are going from that perspective.
Now let's talk about Adrian, sorry. Adrian. Adrian is with City of Aurora, also kind of a large organization. Again, how many apprentices and what is it done for your organization?
We've been doing some form of formal training to make binders for engineers. 3 of those have been with the formal apprenticeship. 6 apprentices. One of them's here, another one's a technician that works for us, and then we have another technician also that works with us. So we get what we get out of it is we're able to fill hard to fill positions. As an employer, it's hard to hire, just flat out. So we grow our own, and we go from 0 to very, very high quality, high performance work in 2 years. So that's my why. The other why is that it helps the shop by feeling like things are always getting better. So this is kind of a municipal forestry problem. Every day is a shitty ass honey locust that we have to. And you do.
That's a technical term. And every company's got the same term.
You do it 1,001, right? And you know, you just get lost in it. Just another day. Right? But when you're training your person, you're seeing this person go from computer programmer to now, doing spike removals. I mean, it's exciting. That's a great day to come to work, right? So it relieves the grind, I would say, for us. Having a constant flow of people into a training program. Also, they come out, again, as Kelly pointed out, every shop has its way, has its culture. They hear from someone else with a different spin. And maybe my way of explaining it or crew leader's way of explaining it didn't quite click, but they hear it from City of Denver. And it makes sense.
Well, let's hear from Anthony, because he is one of the apprentices through the city of Aurora.
Job that, there's something going on. We're teaching our apprentice one day. There's three types of apprentices. Every one of those kind of not different. Get the same result. So I mean, it's just like everyone works differently.
Anthony, what was your favorite part about the program?
We're missing some trees that I never would have done. I'm going to run to this town garden, cities do a bunch of, like tree identification and some stuff. We also got to go to the campus up in the border. I don't know, you just get to see how other people see stuff. Yeah, I don't know, just, yeah, but it's just the outlook on the trees. Like I always just like, all right, we're trimming this tree today. When we got to one class, gentleman, 4 times. He was just like, well, yeah, you're trimming this tree today, but you're trimming this tree for 40 years. I don't know, that just blew my mind about how to look at it.
Alex, let's hear from you. So you're also at Save a Tree. This is you.
Going into year 2, the program was my third year with Save a Tree. Started from the ground, literally. Came from the fire service. Like to be outside, still the trees, chainsaws. There's one thing I came in with any kind of knowledge about, but the Boulder Arboretum was awesome. My whole life, I never realized it was there. Still having this exposure. The apprentice program, you get that kind of in-depth training where when you're doing production work, you don't always have the time to be like, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, this is how we're doing it. It's usually like, I'm cutting this headache, get out of the way, do this, this, and this, but you don't get that. This is how you do it. This is why I'm doing it this way from the more experienced guys. And to piggyback, meeting throughout this whole process already and work hundreds of different people that everybody ties a knot differently. Everybody, climbs differently. That's a big thing for me is tips and tricks that, one person will tell you do it this way, another person will tell you do it this way. You put those together, that's to be, comfortable. And I get paid to go to school. I stayed out of school for a long time because I do have a family and I didn't want to sacrifice income and moving bills to get an education, and then through Save a Tree, got this opportunity to make my day's wage, go to school and get an education, which just puts more money in my pocket.
All right. Tell us from an instructor point of view, what's the value of the program?
So I've been in the green industry since '97. Owned my own company, started in 2005, and I used to grow my own. I used to prefer to find people that were looking for jobs but had no experience because it didn't like the bad habits that other people had. It's easier to teach somebody new habits and not have to change their habits. And so I was brought on last March to teach tree support systems, and then a couple weeks later to teach Pre-Apprenticeship. And so during the tree support system, I was like, I need to gauge how everybody's doing in their tree ID so I can build the class appropriately. So took these guys out, the 3 in that class, and Anthony in particular just blew me away with his knowledge of trees. I was like, whoa, okay, we need to notch up with it. So I was used to teaching people by myself, and the pace of that was fairly slow. I had to show them everything. But these guys were light years ahead of that. I also myself, probably, I didn't get my ISA certified arborist until 9 or 10 years after climbing my first tree. It's a long time. So getting your ISA certified arborist shortly after you get into the industry is super helpful, both as building a career onto it. It's not just a day job, it's actually a career. So this speeds everything up puts together all the materials that you need to get that career. So I was super impressed by his class. I'm sold.
Questions?
I have a question. So, if I complete the program, because again, like always, to be a certified artist, and then I'm all the way. What's the percentage? Would you say how much would it higher my percentage of achieving that goal if I complete the apprenticeship?
So, what we're trying to do is we're trying to fix the problem of the ISA certification. So anybody can go take the certified artist. If you can demonstrate that you've been in the business for 3 years, okay? That doesn't mean you know anything about actually how to do tree work or be a qualified person to work on trees, right? So what the apprenticeship does is it fills that gap. Not only do you know about tree biology, species, and all the knowledge stuff, you know how to do it at a high level. So this is no different than being a tradesman. That's what we're shooting for. Just like you go for your electrician exam, you come out as a journey worker electrician, right? That means something. That means that I not only know a lot about that, but I know how to do it too. So this is why we're building this eventually.
I think it, increases your chance how successful you can be at becoming that certified arborist. So every day, you're not going to learn about soils every day. But to become a certified arborist, you have to know about soil. What makes trees grow, what makes them not grow, what kills them. And so when you get through this program, you actually get the exposure to each of those things, because that is one subject on the exam. The other is like tree bracing systems, like putting in cables and bracing trees. That's not something that, honestly, even my 60 guys, they don't get to do it all day, every day. It's once in a long while. And so this is the formal training to be able to take the exam, right? There's some other, classes you might be able to take, but through the industry. But this is the sets you up for success to become that certified arborist.
Other questions? So I'm going to bring Dan up here. And when he's done, we're going to divide this group up into different tables. So you can go around and ask them specific questions about what they do, about the apprenticeship program. All right, guys, thank you so much. Anything else?
I think you're finding what you already do, which is you love trees, which is why everybody.
I would introduce Dan Batchelor. Dan is with Range Community College. So we talk about this in the orientation, but the apprenticeship actually has a crosswalk so that it can work towards some courses at Front Range Community College. And we have a couple of certifications and degrees in horticulture that Dan's going to tell you some more about.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I just showed up. I was just teaching, so glad to be here and talk to you guys. And I think this apprenticeship program for the tree industry is wonderful. If anyone wanted to take their horticulture knowledge and tree biology knowledge and soils knowledge beyond that, we offer degrees and certificates in horticulture, as you can see here, horticulture, floral design, irrigation technician, landscape design, landscape maintenance technician, and greenhouse and garden center management. And all of these certificates are either 6 credits or 17 or 18 credits. And those small certificates are usually where we suggest students starting. And then they fit into our 2-year associate's degree. where a student can take their math, English, science, and all those general education courses to kind of go into the industry and have a little bit more background into everything. We also offer a degree here at Front Range in horticulture that transfers to CSU. It's a 2-year degree, and there's actually not a lot of horticulture classes in it because the CSU 4-year degree in horticulture, most of their first 2 years are general education credits, right? So you can take those at a community college, and the cost that I looked at the other day was about $13,000, and then transfer to CSU, finish out your bachelor's degree, get a bachelor's degree from CSU, and save whatever the difference between that 41,000 and 13,000, right? Little bit, yeah. And we do learn about trees in our program too. Yeah. Any questions about the program here? We offer classes, horticulture classes on this campus and also up on the Larimer campus up in Fort Collins. And we're kind of all over the place with our classes. We have a 4-credit soils class, a 4-credit horticulture class where you're just learning the foundation of everything, right? And so probably the apprenticeship program goes into soils. We're going to go really into soils and talk about agriculture, tree health, annuals, and things like that. So we have a tree ID course, which I'm kind of developing right now. I'll be teaching that in the spring, and where we learn 125 trees and conifers for the Front Range. And we learn botanic name, common name, height, all their attributes, how to use them in the landscape and things like that. What trees to avoid. All right. All right. See Hannah right back there. She'll sign you up for it. Pay me. No, I'm just joking. Are there any questions on the credit program here that we have?
We don't want to be employed in the arborist apprenticeship. You don't have to be employed. Apprenticeship is focused on.
I have a question. With the classes I know that classes that you work with workforce center, did y'all work with the workforce center with the $1
So my expertise is talking about trees and soils. Other people handle that, but absolutely, I absolutely assume we have that ability.
And if on your licensing exam, things that kill trees would be my name probably on there. Very good at doing this stuff, but I am good at so yeah, it's definitely utilize some folks to the workforce center to get. There's just a ton of money right now to pay for folks to go to school for all different kinds of. Yeah, so the way that the College Opportunity Fund is just a weird way of the state giving us money. And so I think the credit hour okay, yeah, so it's right now it gives about $104 per credit hour for students that are Colorado residents, which is after a year. And so a lot of our tuition folks, though, like online and things like that, already have the cost taken out of it for the resident tuition. But it is $104 per credit hour for basically the entire associate's degree and to a bachelor's.
Any other questions for FRCC folks? No? All right.
Ready to divide up? Just before we want to divide up, just for people telling me that really a year ago I came into the partnership and I didn't fully understand how much of my employees going to be out of the class? Can you clarify for those folks how many days per year, which is, you know, condensed down into the here. So, particular, especially for the course for funding, it's a very cost-efficient way to get that done compared to what we would pay today. And so we get a lot more. I can also say, estimate. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But we can split up in groups if you want. Yeah. So not that over here. And we'll have the charge people. Right. Yeah, we have. Yeah. Right?